Hello and welcome back to the channel, My Life's Toil. I'm Neil, and just wanted to start with thanking those again that have been in touch wishing me well over the last week or two. Well, for a little while things haven't been going to plan, is probably the best way to describe it. Just been feeling really off. Um, won't go too much into, because I don't want this to be all about that, although it is about following how I get on with my weight loss. So just to get that out of the way, I've had some bloods back. There's been some abnormalities, nothing too sinister. There is treatment in the offing, but there's no real reason to stop doing my weight loss plan. So today I'm going to be discussing whether I have a little break from Mounjaro. There's no real reason, but my thoughts are, and a lot of people have suggested that, resetting, have a few weeks off it, and then starting again whilst I'm just going through some treatment, which just involves antibiotics. We found some infection markers and things like that, and there's been some things that need scans and that. So that'll be that. And I will update you as we know that it's not going to be too serious, which I don't think it will be, but we should be fine. So today, and you know what, I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to be jabbing today, because a lot of people have said, like, give it a break, see how you feel, and then we can step back on it. But at the same time, I do want to, I don't want, I want as little disruption to the weight loss plan as possible, because it's going well still, isn't it? And as I say, I don't think that what's happening with me at the moment is really attributed. I think it adds to it because I've just been feeling poorly, and I am a little bit poorly, but like I say, it's not nothing too massive. So this is it, isn't it? Because it can knock us about. There's a lot of people that have been in touch. They're having really, well, yeah, major fatigue. A lot of people are having, but there's no sort of uniformity across the board. And this is where I've said in the past, where people are so different with how Mounjaro affects them. I've had people messaging this week on some of the other videos where they've been on the 2.5s for a month, had no changes whatsoever, where people are having massive changes straight away. And this is because there's lots of reasons that we've mentioned before why things don't work, and that could be down to illness, it could be down to hormonal changes, all sorts of different reasons that we have discussed in previous videos. But also just the fact that some people do need to go up the doses before they see a change, whereas some people it just works straight away. I'm still on a relatively low dose, aren't I, in the fives, and I'm due to start another month of fives because I'd already ordered that in. And I think that's probably a good thing for me at the moment, because I'm still losing weight. Yes, it's slowed down a little, but slow losses aren't a bad thing. Yes, I had massive losses, and I'm on, like heading towards 4 stone, which is about 25 kilos, isn't it? And that's only since February. It is now coming towards the end of May. And that's a rapid weight loss, really. And that won't help with how I'm feeling. And the other thing as well is, and a lot of people have pointed this out to me, that I have been having quite a low calorie sort of threshold, and the deficit on the calories has been quite low. And I was targeting, initially I was having about 1800 to 2000 calories a day, but then I was aiming for sort of 1600, 18, and that was going well. And you are going to feel tired when you're having probably not enough calories, and you will get to the stage where your body's saying, hang on, we're burning a lot off your body now, maybe we just need to up it up a little bit. So my advice personally, and just passing it on from other people, is to probably, if you are feeling unwell or things aren't working quite well for you, or as long as you're feeling well, carry on with what you're doing. But if you do feel lethargic and there's no real reason for it, just have a look at the calorie deficit, making sure you get a good balance, plenty of protein, but don't make yourself ill with it. I think that's one thing that I'll take away from what's happened with me recently. Although I don't think it's necessarily now to do with that, but I certainly don't think it helps. But just going on from that, and I think it's important to point out that it's easy to go down a bit of a rabbit warren with probably the plan in general. And from my point of view, I think that you can get so focused on just reducing the calories and just eating this particular type of thing. And I always said from the beginning is you've still got to enjoy your food because it can get mundane and monotonous otherwise. And that's the danger of being on any, let's face it, any diet, really. It's a case of you feel you don't want this to be, and I know a lot of people have this, and I certainly do. You wake up in the morning, you're thinking about the Mounjaro, the diet, what you're going to do for the day. Halfway through the day, you're thinking about it again. And at the end of the day, you're thinking about it again. And I think the objective for most of us should be to just make it become part of our lifestyle, I think, moving forward. And like, it's like learning to drive, isn't it, or riding a bike. Eventually, you don't even realize you're doing it. And I think if we can get that mindset or aim towards that mindset, whereas it just becomes the norm. So you're not thinking about, oh, I could really do with eating that, and then having to tackle that in the mind. And that's really hard because if there was a magic wand that we could wave and be like that, that'd be great, wouldn't it? And you're hearing me say this, oh, yeah, it's easier said than done. And I agree with that. And I mean, 3 months in now, and everything's diet, 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 day in, day out. If I'm not forgetting to eat, I'm still thinking about how the Mounjaro's working and what sort of signs and symptoms am I getting. Is everything okay, especially of late? So I think if anything, the last few weeks is sort of a little bit of a reset button, just thinking about a way forward. And I don't want to stop. I think I will be, and we'll go to the jab later today, and I'll put that out as I usually do. I missed last week obviously because I was poorly. And then I'll still do the update the weekend with how the weights and measurements are going. So we've got that to look forward to, haven't we? Woohoo. And it's nice to hear how people are getting on with theirs as well. I've been following quite a few people, um, quite quite a bit, and it's nice to see because we're all on the same journey, aren't we? And like I say, it does work differently, and to get tips, tricks, and feedback from everybody is really good. And I do. It's just a shame when people get in touch and they get right up through the doses and it doesn't quite work for them. I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't know if Manjaro hadn't worked for me. I'd just still be that big, fatter guy, feeling low, and it's just a horrible thought, isn't it? Look at the people. Have a think now. For the people that it's working for and going really well, it's great, isn't it? Just put your mind into those people that just aren't getting the same results. And I do that a lot, to be honest with you. Because for years I was thinking if there was just this magic pill that made me stop craving food. And here it is. It doesn't work for everyone. So I do feel for those people. And if it's not working for you, it might just be that it doesn't. But you can look into why. There may be underlying reasons, and it's worth having that chat, isn't it? Don't just say, "Oh, I'm giving it up. It's not working for me." Have a look why. But anyway, so long story short, I will be doing I don't even know what week I'm on. It was day 82 the other day. 86, day 86, 87. God, losing it. Anyway, so we'll go and do that in a little while, and might go indoors for it. It's got a bit warm here, which is about time, really, to be fair. So let's go and do the jab, shall we? It's actually too nice a day to go indoors, so I'm actually going to jab in my little outdoor veranda here on the deck. So if you bear with me, we're going to do the jab. So let's clean the hands with the hand gel. It's always good to give them a good wash anyway, but doing the hand gel just keeps them there, doesn't it, a little bit? Right, so make sure you've got everything you need. Now I'm making sure my Mounjaro pen's out the way of the sunlight, but you'll need that. I've had a new pen, so new packet of needles, some new wipes, and also brand new box. Let's check the pen. So unboxing. Here we go. It's been in the fridge. I keep it in the fridge all the time in between jabs as well now, so it'll go straight back in there. Mounjaro quick pen, 5 milligrams. Tirzepatide, 4 doses, 0.6 mils, solution, 2.4 mils solution in total. That can be administered once weekly. I know people do more than that. So check the expiry date. February 26. Inspect the pen, have a good look at it. We're going to prime the needle. Someone commented on saying, you don't prime the pen, it's the needle. Yeah, I know. It's just, you know what I mean. But yeah, thanks for taking the time to actually type that out. But there we go. So let's get it all set up. I'm going to put that back on. We'll get one of the wipes out ready. These swabs are for cleaning the pen. Some people like to clean the injection site. That's something I used to do, and I've mentioned that many times before. But what they actually send them for is for you to clean that little seal in there where the needle seals up to each time. So give that little wipe in there. I always give it a wipe over. And someone else has said that they like to clean the pen as well. Doesn't hurt. Some people say it's a waste of time, but I just like to be like that. I'm a bit over fussy. I don't think I'm OCD. I'm going to give my belly because I'm going into the tummy again. So let's show that. Brand new needle every time, sealed. The needles they send me tend to be the 4mm ones. You may have a 5mm one. I think some people even get the 6mm ones. So we're talking 4mm, 5mm, 6mm. You can hardly tell by looking at it. The actual gauge of the needle, I think it is 0.23 of a millimetre. We pull that off there. That then goes nice and squarely into there. Offer it nice and straight. I've heard people have had trouble. They sort of bend them in, and I'll get to the administration bit in a bit. Always keep whatever you do square on and straight, so there's no chance of it being bent, because it can happen. Hopefully it shouldn't, if you just take your time, and you will become an expert at this in no time. Get the first one out of the way. You'll see how easy it really is, and you'll be fine, honestly. So that plastic cap here comes off, and then we keep that, as we always say, because we're going to put that back on at the end and throw it in the sharps bin with that on. But this one that covers the needle itself, that comes off, and that can go in the household bin eventually. Then what we're going to do is going to see if there's any air in the actual vial there. And to actually do the priming of the needle, you see here, let's put it the right way around, put it there so you can see it, and then 2 clicks to that longer line there. That's in the prime position, so that's now ready to prime, making sure that if there are any air bubbles in here, tiny amounts of bubbles aren't going to cause you any great shakes at all. And then we literally press that, nothing. So we do it again. So we want to see at least a bead. 1, 2, at least a bead, so we know the needle is painted. There we go. Hopefully you saw that. I had a pen, not last month, the one before, and every time I primed it, we used to get a jet out. You don't need to see a jet, just as long as something's coming out. 1, we want to see it so that if there is too much air in there, we're getting rid of that. And 2, so we know the needle works, because some people forget to prime and they get leakages, and it's possibly because the needle's not working properly. It's blocked probably. Then we have the turny dial here, and the only number you will see on this gauge here is 1. Means nothing but 1 dose. We can turn it. Some people count the clicks, and they'll give like half of the dose one day, half the dose later in the week. It's off license, that is, but it's working for them, and I'm not going to say anything against that. If it's working, theoretically it's not actually wrong, because even Eli Lilly themselves say if you have a dose, you wait 3 days, 72 hours minimum before you have another dose. But they're telling us it's a once weekly jab. Fine. So make of that what you will if it's working for you. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole again. But make sure it's on number 1, and then I'm going to get ready and we'll show the injection. So here we are. We're going to go into my abdomen. Now, it's been a week since I obviously went into it. So basically what they're telling you is you've got 4 sites around here. So you can either, you want to go 2 inches away from the belly button. So always stay around there, but so you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 4 areas, and rotate those sites. You can just go into the abdomen. But you know what? if you're fine there and next week comes to it, you're still fine, it's not going to cause you any problems. If you've got any reddening or bruising, erythema of the skin, any swelling or anything like that, avoid it. Go somewhere else. Only because it can slow down the uptake of the actual drug into the system. But let's go for it. Confirm that you're on number 1. I'm all clean, I've just had a shower, so I'm going to go lower right hand side here. Just going to pinch a little bit of skin, keep it nice and straight. Let's come a bit closer. Go in nice and square and in. Administer nice slow pressure of the plunger. They always say about 5 seconds. As square as you went in, you come back out again. Check that you're not bleeding. I've only ever had one tiny bead of blood once. There's nothing there. We're all done. There we go. So remember that cap that I said keep hold of? That goes back on there, and then we literally pull that off there in the box. And if that's your first jab that you've done, good luck with it. Some people notice it works within hours. I think recalling the very first time I jabbed, I had this unusual sort of, not even a malaise, but just a funny feeling that something was happening on the first time, and I think on the second time as well, like a warmth. And since then I don't feel anything, but the suppression is usually there. Some people feel nothing at all, and like I say, the effects are different for everybody. But without further ado, because it's warm out here and it is a bit sunny, I'm going to put this away. I keep it in the box still, and that goes back in the fridge. So that will do us for this week. I'm going to be back the weekend with a bit more of an update. Try and do some questions and answers if anyone's got any out there. There's some to get through this weekend as well. Keep the comments coming. You've really kept me going, guys, this last few weeks, and it's brilliant. So once again, thank you for all the support. It's been absolutely lovely, and I'm trying to give it back. So we're going to keep up with the positivity. That's me for another week now. Got a few more jabs of this to go. No, I haven't been using the golden dose. I know people have. I think I can see why people do it, and I am really tempted. And all I would do, I wouldn't do it as an additional jab. I would just use it as, of course, it's an additional jab, but I don't mean on top of. What I do mean is for the following week, so I can delay, because it is an expensive game, isn't it? But keep your comments coming. Any questions, drop them in the comments or text them through to me on the Facebook Messenger that a lot of people do. And I'll speak to you the weekend. So have a good week. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Be positive. Speak soon. Take care.